Hi friends, Steve Rondinaro, Lindsey, Vento, grooving to the sounds in the stadium here at Lucas Oil. We're off and running. It's Thursday, 16 cores have been out already, 15 more to go, and man, we have had some quality out here already.
We've had quality. We were just watching some of the open class teams, and I thought, my goodness, these teams didn't even medal or place yesterday in the open class finals, and that was mind-blowing to me. We're in for a really good treat. I love the electricity. I know you can hear it, and I hope you feel like you're here live, because hearing the Jumbotron and all the excitement of the crowd, yeah, I'm pumped. I'm ready.
What we do all summer.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. This is a little piece of turf. It's brand new grass. This stadium is so versatile. In early part of the year, it was a basketball court for the NBA All-Star Game. Most of you saw it on TV as a swimming pool for the Olympic qualifiers.
And you can
that was something.
Oh my goodness, they did a time lapse. It's still on YouTube, you can find it. They did a time lapse of them putting it together, and knowing that we just marched there and then seeing it turn into a swimming pool is really mind-blowing. Yeah, it is.
And it may look a little different to you now. We're standing on brand new turf that just went down. We're the first group to use it. That's a little piece of it right there.
The Colts haven't even played a game on it.
No, you get down here and you look at it. Now back in the day I would do this and there'd be little black rubber pebbles that would come up. We call them turf turds affectionately.
But now,
look
it almost looks like dirt. It's actually cork and coconut husk. The oddest thing, but our scientists out there are smarter than we are. And it is the brand new thing. It is the new thing.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be safer, concussion protocol, all of those things.
It's called Heliturf. Helimatrix turf is what it's called. Colts, the only indoor stadium with it. They've got it in Tennessee. We're going to see how it goes. But we're the ones breaking it in, and it does feel a little different.
It does. It feels a lot different, actually. I walked on it yesterday with just my bare feet. I took sandals off. I was curious. You know, we use Lucas Oil for pageantry art all year long, and so I was really, really curious. Walked on it barefoot, it felt like grass. So I thought that's interesting. However, so many high school programs and facilities have all gone turf to match these NFL stadiums that we compete and perform in.
With the rubber pellets.
With rubber. So now we're kind of in this cycle of what do we do now with that? How do we get the most real feel for our students back home? It does feel hard, it feels dense. But also, reminder, no team has played on this yet. The Colts haven't even been on this yet, so it's like breaking in a new shoe.
Yeah,
I don't know. This could not be how it feels on Saturday night. I don't know.
So as a teacher, what do you tell your performers when they come out on the field?
Man, that's hard because you don't want them to overthink, right? You want to inform, but you don't want them to overthink. Sue Keenhold and I actually were talking about this yesterday about how do you inform the drum corps? Do you prepare them? Everyone knows that we have new turf, but you can't change technique. You can't do any of that right now, the week of finals.
The props should roll nice and deep.
That was the biggest thing I was going to add, is that the props, as someone who uses them and utilizes them often, I can't imagine they don't just roll smooth on here, because it really does feel like ground.
Yeah.
But again, it is supposed to be better for falls and injuries and head and concussion protocol and upkeep, it seems like. So I don't know that we overthink it from the performer standpoint. I think we get used to it. I think it's just something new that when turf came along after grass, right? We had to get used to that.
I remember Cornell in 1974. It was like marching on cement with a layer of plastic.
Yeah.
That was.
And we have to get used to that. And so again, these are just things that evolve, and evolution is a thing. And
yeah, that's it. So
we're gonna get used to it.
Our souvenir grass. You got to get the cores out here on the turf. That's a logistical challenge in this stadium, but nobody does it better than our ringmaster, Tony DiCarlo. Let's go on a little walk. What do you say?
Yeah, my name is Tony DiCarlo. I'm the contest director for Drum Corps International. I take care of everything inside of the stadium, and other folks take care of parking lots and outside of the stadium. I try to make sure everything is ready for all the corps' performance of the day or evening, from hash marks to the field settings, to the announcer, to the judges' tablets, whatever needs to be taken care of. Do you have a generator? You need power? Electrical power, yeah. We have it here. Right here, see? I started marching in a drum bugle corps called the Annunciators back in the 60s. And then in the 70s, I joined the Boston Crusaders, 71, 2, 3, and 4. I was a snare drummer for Boston. And then I became a coordinator for Drum Corps East a little bit. And in the probably 87, and then I became the executive director for Drum Corps East. And then in 1994, I ran the World Championships in Boston. And then we became part of Drum Corps International, the DCI Atlantic Division. And in 1994, I started coordinating and working for DCI. So it's been a little over 27, 30 years, I think, that we've been doing this role. Some of the greatest moments are hearing the audience give a standing ovation. I mean, it gives you goosebumps. The interaction that I have with the performers. I love talking to the people in the pit. I love working with their tour managers, working to make it all happen. It's exciting for the performers and for the audience. So I get to I think I have the best seat in the house. I get to see everything and hear everything. Pretty powerful. They always remember my name, they call me, but it is exciting I advocate for the drum corps, is what I try to do. You know, people say, Tony, you don't give out any penalties. Well, I try to work with the corps in advance to make sure that they don't have any penalties.
Are you going to do an automatic one if we get to a certain point?
If you get to a certain point, yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
They've been going pretty quick.
Yeah, no problem. We got plenty of time. I get to work with the drum majors. I get to work with the tour managers. They're very intense. The competition's intense. Every year, it's more and more with these drum corps. They bring in new levels every year to the audience. And working with them and seeing the interactions, how intense they are, getting the announcement ready right on time when they want it. Number two, some have one announcement, some have two announcements, some have three announcements. Working with that announcer, making sure everything happens to their satisfaction. Creating the environment of a world championships. I try to run every show as if it's a world championships throughout the whole season. I do about 20 shows a year. And you get to know the people and what to expect. There's so many championships that I've done. I had a great time in Pasadena. That was a wonderful experience out there. Madison, Boston in '94 and 2005. So all great years. Every year's a little different, but they're all great. Yeah, this weekend I look forward to, again, raising the bar. The corps have raised the bar. The corps are excellent. The power, the performance levels. Hearing the fans have a great show and roar like they always do, and working with the corps and making it happen and crowning a champion on Saturday night is going to be exciting, I think.
So many of the corps that have been out here on the field already today are some of our open class corps. They had their championship Tuesday night. They move on to the prelims. It was my first chance to see a bunch of those corps. There's some really good stuff.
Oh, there is. We started the day with Les Tentors, our only Canadian corps here at
From
Championships
Quebec.
Weeks. Yes, and they, small but mighty, they come out of the tunnel and you think, gosh, what a small drum corps, and then they just light it up and you see the joy on their faces and you wonder if they're going to get overwhelmed in this stadium, but there's nothing.
Nope.
There's just joy here. You just walk onto Lucas Oil's field and it's a sense of joy. They definitely brought that. And speaking of open class, Steve, did you know? I'm going to quiz you. I don't know. Maybe you do know. You probably do. You are reliable, Rondo.
I know a lot of things.
Right. Battalion, who we just saw, amazing, 4th place finish in open class. They were voted most improved open class by their membership for 2024. I didn't even know that award existed.
You don't say.
Did you?
No.
There we go. I
just want her to feel good.
I taught him something he didn't know. Write this down, folks.
But it's cool. They're from Utah and an open class with our champions, the Spartans from New Hampshire. You've got them from Utah. You've got the Blue Devils B came from California.
Yep. And we also have an interview with the battalion drum major.
My name is Reese Davis. I've been the drum major here at Battalion for 4 years. 22 was our first year going to Indianapolis, so I got to be a part of that, and just getting to be a member for all of those sort of keystone moments in our history was something I'm very honored to be a part of. Again, just seeing where we started and where we are now, it's really a privilege to get to reap the rewards of all of the hard work of the staff and members that have come before, and the years that I've marched before that and into this season, and I couldn't be more proud of anybody this year. To have that final salute was heart-wrenching in the best way, just being filled with emotion and joy and pride of everybody here, but knowing that my time left here is very limited. It's bittersweet. It warms my heart, but I'm sad to go.
Good stuff from the battalion. Another great story, the Colombians out of Washington. Another great
They were great. This is the first I've seen them today.
Yeah,
they were wonderful.
So what's ahead? The top 15, and it is loaded. Your favorite corps is going to be in that list somewhere, probably. I know you've had interest in that Pacific Crest program.
I have. From the first time I saw it, and not everybody, hopefully this is info that maybe sheds some light as you get to experience and watch them today. But it is about Frida. It is about the artist from Mexico, really extremely well known. And you watch the show and you can see it in the floral and the prints, and you kind of know the vibe of it culturally. But then you see this 4-post bed being used throughout the entire program.
And I wondered when I saw that, where does the bed fit into this?
And somebody,
you're going to tell me.
I am, and somebody who really understands and knows her life and her art, I was instantly appreciative of the fact that they used that in the show. Her very first solo art gallery opening, she was on her deathbed. She was extremely ill. She was determined to make it to that opening of that gallery. And they literally wheeled her in that 4-post bed to her first art gallery. And it gives me chills thinking about that.
That's digging deep for program development.
It is, but once you know that story, now you can watch it and realize how important that prop is in the whole scape of the program. And I think it was brilliant that they utilized it. I think the whole thing is done really, really well. I loved the detail and the thought behind that prop specifically. So
the Corps work all season to get here. They are seated now in this top 15. Lucas Oil Stadium, though, it's our cathedral of drum corps, if you will, and
very
Bands
well
of
said.
America,
It is, yes.
Pageantry arts.
Yes.
So, what do the corps members think as they prep for this? It's a big part of the psyche of being in a drum corps from the perspective of the Boston Crusaders.
My name is Hunter Jones. I'm a trumpet player here at the Boston Crusaders, and this is my 3rd year with the organization. As a vet, this is my 4th year performing at Lucas Oil Stadium. It's always something I really, really look forward to, but year to year it's always different. It's a different crowd, it's a different show, it's a different environment. So I'm really looking forward to this year, seeing what some of our moments are going to get reactions from in the crowd. One of the moments that we have is we have a moment of silence in the closer, and it's always really fun trying to figure out how the crowd is going to react to that. It's different show to show. So I'm really excited to see night 1 in Indianapolis, what that reaction is like once we get to the silence.
All right, we know what Hunter Jones and the Crusaders are going to be watching for. Let's give you 5 things to watch for. What's the top of your list?
Top of my list, I've got a lot, but I'm at the top of my list. I'm most interested to see how this works in Lucas Oil. It is such a small detail, but I want people to really understand it. That last note and punctuation of Blue Coat's program, where everybody, it's all has changed and everybody comes back to the center and all they do is quote unquote play one note. But you're in a dome, you have gone 13 minutes and the coordination just from a timing and vertical alignment perspective, not to get too jargony on you, that is so impressive that the entire corps has figured out how to come into the center of the field and they execute that singular note so efficiently every single time. And the silence that happens before it is just almost deafening because they know it's coming and they wait for it. And then the crowd erupts. It's a great moment for me. I think that's my top.
I'll take that.
All right.
I won't argue with that.
Okay.
I want to see the Troopers again. I loved them the one and only time I saw them. You got the devil out there on a guitar. Where can you go wrong with that?
Where can you go wrong?
There's so much of that Trooper show that is just fun to watch, and the crowd has loved it.
Oh,
all
the crowd!
season long.
Man, the last few years, even the Troopers. I mean, the crowd interest is really picked up. So, my next one.
Yep.
You ready?
Fire.
Just the ending of Phantom Regiment.
You and
my gosh.
You stole that one from me.
I know.
I wanted that one. She said, no, I want Phantom.
The ending of Phantom Regiment, and when the props are spinning and everyone is pushed forward and the color guard is swarming the field, and this
place is going to go nuts.
Oh my goodness. I mean, when we're in an outdoor facility, the crowd is deafening. I can't imagine here in Lucas Oil what that's going to sound like, and at home. I mean, it's one of those things, you watch the ending. I stood up from my couch the first time I saw it, clapping to myself in my living room. So I'm really excited about that Phantom ending. We all know it's coming. Who doesn't love a loud, great, big, pushed forward, effective, general effective ending?
Big, full, Phantom brass.
What's your next one?
Well, I got to pay homage to my old partner, Dennis DeLucia. We got to talk about percussion a little bit.
Yeah.
And the captions have been going all over the place with percussion. Those judges have been, you play the show, you get the number. But you always got to kind of look at Santa Clara
You do.
as your benchmark when it comes to percussion. They do it so tastefully, they do it so well, and it's almost beautiful to watch. And this is coming from a non-drummer.
It's just so good to have them back in general.
Yeah.
Let's just say Santa Clara being back in general is one of our favorite moments.
I'll take it. All right, you get the last one.
My, not in particular order, but my last one that I'll offer, the Blue Devils color guard. In general. It is the way that Scott Chandler thinks about the color guard in the overall production. It's not just drill and staging and they play a part. It's almost like they're not their own caption. It's just such a holistic approach to how they use color guard in their programming. I just love watching it evolve and how they enter they come from this corner. If you haven't seen it yet, they come from this corner and the color guard just comes through the core. They take over the field. There are moments that are so designed around a singular catch by the entire weapon line that just musically perfectly line up with the pit embellishment. I don't know. It's just how the Blue Devil color guard is just envisioned in general.
It's the Blue Devils. It's coordination.
It is
amazing
and
coordination.
excellence. They're just known for excellence.
Yeah.
And achievement. So.
Yep.
Those are our 5.
Those are our. Yeah. Chime in on social media. I'm sure you're going to put up your 5 and say those. How could they not? Blah, 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 blah. That's what's beautiful about drum corps. Everybody has an opinion.
And these are just our 5. We could have talked for 20 minutes just on this one thing. But lucky for you,
we're not.
We're not.
All right, Friday. So the semis, top 25 from tonight, move on to Friday. And that's also when we get the Crossman Alumni Corps, 350
My
people.
Goodness. I said yesterday that's a huge, but then I realized the actual number and I thought, well, that's more than huge.
Yeah.
That is an alumni corps.
So we're going to get more into that tomorrow in our update with Scott Litzenberg. Hall of Fame also happens tomorrow night after the semis. We present the plaques. It's one of my favorite other jobs with DCI.
I know, that is your thing.
Chairman of the DCI Hall of Fame. We're going to honor Mike Duffy, who passed away this year, but he learned of his election before he died and was really, really touched by that. And I'm glad we got the word out to him. Gordon Henderson did so much with Santa Clara Vanguard in the 80s, also the Cavaliers. We got Scott Borma. He bleeds green, Madison Green. He's written a book for them forever, and he wrote this year's charts as well for Madison. And John Vanderkolk, creative genius since 2013 with the Blue Coats.
He's having a year, man.
Yeah.
He's having a year. Okay, let's talk about the John Vanderkolk year. Fusion, WGI, World Champions. Blue Coats, undefeated as of right now, could be our next champion.
Yep.
John Vanderkolk's having a year.
So
and Hall of Fame.
Yeah. We got the age out ceremony also Friday night. That's always an adventure.
It is.
Very emotional
Lots of
for
fun.
the kids. And one of the coolest things about that is the Hall of Fame members pass out the age out pins to the kids. And
it's like a passing of the torch.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's a passing of the torch. And it's a really cool moment. I got to experience it last year with my age-out son and got to stand on the field. And they're so excited to just get on this turf in a non-competitive way and just celebrate and have fun.
Now, here's the thing I've been holding out on you. You're going to get a free preview, the next several corps, and there's some good ones.
Yeah, there are.
Flo's going to put them up for free for you. How about that?
Oh, it's amazing. And then with your subscription, you can watch the rest of the weekend. You're going to get all of the updates. You're going to get highlights. You're going to get special interviews. You're going to get to spill the tea with Rondo and I. And the most important thing is all these just electric, brilliant, stunning performances that you'll see all weekend. It's gonna be a great weekend, guys. I hope you can go along with us for the ride.
Yeah, enjoy, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.